I don't know exactly what pound test line I have on here, but I've hooked into something decent. Afternoon YouTube. The topic of this video is going to be micro ultralight fishing kits, and I'm not necessarily talking about pre-made kits that you can buy at Walmart. However, there's thousands of different options out there by just as many brands. You know, hard boxes, soft bags, whatever you want to use. One of my favorites is an Altoids Tin. Now this is one of the smallest ones that they make. You can obviously get one that's about that much longer and that much deeper, you know, about the size of a credit card, but a little bit deeper than that. But if you want to really narrow it down and carry as little tackle as possible and still have plenty of options and different techniques to fish with, you've got plenty of room in one of these mini Altoids Tins. What gave me the idea to do this video was the Aggressively Average Anglers video, which will be linked in the description, so go check that out and check out their channel and Instagram and all that. They make a lot of really good points in their video and concerning how you can minimize the amount of tackle you take out and really compact, you know, plastics. Like, you don't want to put Z-Man or mule fishing plastics in with Yum and all that, because it will melt the other plastics. But say you've got a bag of stick worms and you want to take a couple different colors instead of taking multiple packs. You know, just take an empty pack of those worms and put like 2 of each color or whatever. Same goes with different profiles. Anyway, let's see what all we've got in this little mini Altoids tin and get to fishing. Alright, this is all that I had in there. Like, it's kind of weird to be using top water during this time of year because it's obviously getting close to the middle of winter, but in this particular creek that we're going to fish today, there are some that are hitting some small top water stuff like flies and whatnot. So we've got a little popper. I don't know who makes this. It's just a little cricket popper. It's not the Rebel. That would be this one here. Everybody in the planet that's ever fished with small crankbaits has fished with that. And then I've got some of these little minnow cranks, a little single treble deal. Don't know where those are made from. And then we've got a couple of little bit bigger jigs, curl tail, crappie magnet. This is actually just a Arky sickle head with a piece of a trout worm that's been cut off, which is actually really, really good, so you can customize the length of the worms that you want on there. And then a small little underspin with a, I believe it is the Jenko fishing underspin. I can't remember, to be honest with you. A lot of this stuff is just loose baits I had laying on my bench. Then we've got a small little Panther Martin, a trout magnet, a rooster tail, and another little trout magnet. And it doesn't look like it would really fit, but if you've ever played Tetris, you get good at this kind of stuff. Kinda. Now, it doesn't look like it, but there's still a little bit of room in there for some other stuff, but I'm not going to put anything else in there. We're just going to work with that, and that's it. Hey, did we finally hook up with something? I believe we did. You're a little bit smaller than I want to keep as a bluegill for bait, so we're going to let you go. Alright, we've been here for right at 10 minutes so far. One fish caught, but something that is going on that I know is playing against me is this is just full of tiny little shad about 2 to 3 inches long, which this creek right now, with it as low as it is not known for really having big fish. Occasionally you can find like a 10 or 12 inch crappie if you're lucky, but it is so shallow, especially right back here. A lot of what's, you know, feeding right now is shad. So only thing we can do is hope for the best, because those shad being in here is going to play against us big time, because we're having to compete against the real thing. That one came up and got it as soon as it hit the water. Another little gillikin. Chill, man. In case you're wondering, I get asked this fairly often. Why you take a picture of every fish you catch and this, that, and the other? Some similar question. I have a logbook, and remembering what I caught, the easiest way is just taking a picture of it. That way I know what I caught, when, and where. And no, I don't keep the pictures on my phone unless it's a real memorable catch. So after I update my logbook, the pictures get deleted, and I don't have a crap ton of pictures on my phone. Good thing we've got our micro ultralight kit with us. And you know what? I think I'm gonna throw on a little micro Panther Martin if I can get that thing out of there. Fishy. You look like a little bass that I'd caught recently. Like, really, you do. You're about the same, shortness of it and stocky. Nice little fish. Got that one on a, what size is it? I guess I could say that, which really any micro bait that you can fit in one of these tins, but it's a little red and yellow #1 Panther Martin. This here is the downside to these little micro ultralight kits. You run out of stuff pretty quick if you snag a lot. What do we want to put on there next? We want to go with a trout magnet. Finally. After breaking off half a dozen times, well, twice, finally got something. A little bluegill on the green and black trout magnet that was in there. Fishy. Is this ground dry enough for me to walk on closer to the bank? Ah! You're what has been aggravating the snot out of me lately. These things right here, like this is a big gold shiner. I actually need to throw that in my bucket, but my bucket's all the way down there. So you get to live, unfortunately. These things right here, when you're lucky enough to hook them in that tiny little mouth, they fight like crazy. And they also make really good bass bait and cut bait for catfish and striper and all that. What have we hooked? The beast of the creek right here. And you are getting all sorts of tangled up. There we go. Spunky little fart. Another monster bass right now. I'm telling y'all, won't be long. Bassmaster Elite Series. Get down here working. Don't come off. definitely the biggest of the day, and getting close to being the last one because it's getting a little bit late. But that one just came out of nowhere, right on the bank. Like a lot of the fish in this creek do, they wait to the very, very last minute. I don't even know how many we've caught today. I know it ain't been many. Come here, you little turd. It is much later than I anticipated on fishing. I don't know how bad the lighting really is. But that is going to be the last little fish of this little stop here, because I've been getting pecked to death by a little 2-inch bluegill like that. Tail biting and all that good stuff. It's awesome. So anyway, we're going to call it quits on that. Alright, the rod we're starting out with today is one of my old favorites. I ain't used it much anymore because I've kind of changed the rods that I like to use the most. But this is a 6-foot ultralight Bass Pro Airstream, super short butt section, which is a thing I really like. Fuji grips, and it's the old Abu Garcia Silver Max 1000 size. They don't even make this reel anymore. It's now a Max 10 or SP10 or something other like that. And this rod throw ultralight baits really well. We're starting out with a little 64th ounce mule jig with a little trout magnet on there. Well, we hooked into our first. It's not what I was actually hoping it would be, but then again, I've been getting pestered by these poor things. Little bluegill. I think on that note, since we caught something on that one, we're going to switch it out. Something a little bit brighter, because this water, even though it did rain pretty hard last night, is pretty clear. So yeah, trout magnet, mule head, success. Now this one here, it's a different can. I've got more baits that I would typically use. Mostly, you know, same presentation, you know, a little jig head with a soft plastic of some sort. So we're going to grab the first one that pops out, because I like bright colors. Little Bass Pro Crappie Max stubby butt. Chartreuse works really good in this clear water. And I've got a couple of just bare jig heads in here because I intend to cheat just a little bit. I mean, I could fully put some of those Berkeley gulps in that can, but those tubs that those things come in leak bad enough as it is, so I don't need that juice in a can that's not sealed. Crappie. Feels like a pretty good one too. But then again, I'm using a rod that I'm not familiar with, and it is a good one. That is a not even look at it but throw it in the bucket kind of good one. But thing is, didn't bring my stringer or my bucket down here with me, but I know some big ones are still roaming around down here on the creek now. Another crappie. Not nearly as big as the last one, but it's still a fun size one. At least I think it's a crappie. Nope. Jeez. Off the rocks. Very nice little bass. That's a little spot. You can kind of see the different little color patterns along the back, but that thing was spunky. Let's get you skidooshin'. All right, well, we snagged and broke off, so re-rigged. Going to put on a little Berkeley gulp. Well, I didn't even feel you bite. You just kind of like, I want it, but, you know, I'll get took off here in a second, so I ain't even gonna fight with it. Little micro slab. I like me some slabs. They all slabs to me. They could be little itty bitty crappies, great big crappies. They all slabs to me. Oh. Oh. I don't know exactly what pound test line I have on here, but I've hooked into something decent. Pretty sure I've got 4, which is usually plenty, but you never know. I have not seen this fish yet. I got a bite from something just before I hooked into this thing. So it may have just missed it and came back for it. I don't know what it is. Hopefully we're fixing to. So wow. Well. That was surprising. But that's how have I got you hooked? There we go. That is every bit of a 2.5 pound largemouth, and his lips are red, so he's down there munching on some crawls and stuff, which is about normal for this time of year. But let's get it back. Skadoosh. Fish. What she is. I just kind of felt a slight little tug with that beast right there. I'm gonna stop. It's a very slight little tug, like maybe like I was dragging it over a rock or something, and I was like, you know what, just by chance. Little bitty black crappie. Okay, it's another nice one. It's a crappie for sure, just because it's just acting more like dead weight and those just real sluggish kind of head shakes. Again, I'm not 100% sure about this. Okay, I was wrong. That is not another crappie. I ain't gonna complain though. That one's just shaking at first a lot like a crappie, but ooh, look at them lips. You've been down there feeding on you some crawls. Are you the one I caught a while ago? Because you got a scar right there that looks fairly familiar. Let's get you back and then do some investigating. Ooh, nose bumped a rock right there. Another fish. I've been getting bites like right here straight out from me, like maybe 15 feet away, and missing it, and I almost fell there. And this one's definitely not another crappie, as spastic as it is. Another pretty little spot. Yeah, it's a little spot. Got that tongue patch. And you got the pretty red eyes. Let's get you back. Oh, belly flop, I am sorry. I called it. Well, not really. I'm saying that I did. Very last cast. Catch a fish. Of course, I've said this is the last cast like 37 times, and there ain't an angler alive that hasn't been through that. Well, that was frustrating. I just went through all of the clips that I recorded with my phone for the second part of this little video and had to delete every single one of them, because for whatever reason the audio would fade in instead of staying normal throughout the entire video. And I'm pretty sure it had to do with me turning off the record in stereo setting in my camera settings. So I turned that back on, tested it out several times, and it seems to be working fine now. So hopefully the audio fading issue is fixed. Now the other one that I'm dealing with is whenever I record with my phone, like on the front or the rear camera, there's some static in there, which y'all don't ever hear it like most of the time, if any at all, because I can tune my audio a little bit in my editor app. So you don't have to deal with it as much as I do. It's really not a big deal, if I'm being honest with you. Like, it's kind of like a gnat. It's there, it's not a big deal, it's just annoying. But anyway, this video really just goes to prove that you don't need to carry, or don't have to carry, a lot of gear to catch fish. Like, we caught a couple of fish, you can catch a lot of fish, we caught some good fish. And you can customize these things however you want. You can get the small ones like I was using, or you can get the bigger ones. You can get them on Amazon unpainted and design them however you want, or just leave them plain for just a couple of dollars. They're not that expensive. But anyway, like I said, I got the idea for this video from watching the Aggressively Average Anglers micro ultralight video. I will leave a link of that, or to that, in the description, and a link to their channel, so you can go check them out. They've got some pretty good content over there, and they're pretty entertaining to watch. So definitely check out Aggressively Average Anglers here on YouTube and on Instagram. Hope you like the video. Thanks for watching.